Lisa Carver wiped down the coffee counter with quick, efficient strokes. She smiled at the regular customers who came into the small cafe every morning, but her mind was elsewhere. The clock on the wall showed 2:35 p.m., 3 more hours until her shift ended. Then her real work would begin. "Another coffee, please," said an older man reading news on his tablet. "Coming right up, Mr. Peterson," Lisa said, reaching for a clean mug. Her movements were precise and controlled, just like when she handled the flight controls of her ship. 8 years. She had managed to keep her secret for 8 long years. By day, she was just Lisa, the quiet barista in the coastal town of Bayview. The woman who lived in a small apartment, kept to herself, and made excellent coffee. But at night, she became someone else entirely. A shop door opened, and her roommate Kelly walked in. Kelly was the only person who knew parts of Lisa's truth, though not all of it. "Still on for movie night?" Kelly asked, leaning against the counter. Lisa shook her head slightly. "Got a delivery run. Should be back by morning, though." Kelly lowered her voice. "Dangerous one? Aren't they all?" Lisa replied with a small smile. The truth was, this one was particularly risky. The cargo was unmarked, and the pay was triple her usual rate. That meant trouble, but Lisa needed the money. Her ship, the Starlight Runner, needed new stabilizers. If she wanted to keep flying at 5:30 p.m., Lisa parked her old ground car behind her small garage workshop on the edge of town. The building looked run down from the outside, which was exactly how she wanted it. No one would guess that beneath the worn exterior was a state-of-the-art launch facility. She pressed her palm against a hidden scanner. The floor of the garage began to lower, revealing her ship below. The Starlight Runner wasn't large or impressive looking, but it was fast. Lisa had modified it herself, using knowledge that very few civilians possessed. "Systems check," she said as she settled into the pilot's seat. The ship's controls lit up around her, responding to her voice. "All systems operational," the ship's computer replied. "Fuel at 92%. Course to Proxima Station uploaded." Lisa strapped herself in and activated the cloaking system, another modification that wasn't exactly legal. "Begin launch sequence." The roof of the garage slid open, revealing the darkening sky above. The ship rose silently, invisible to radar and the naked eye. Only when she cleared Earth's atmosphere did Lisa allow herself to relax slightly. "Open throttle," she commanded. The ship shot forward, stars blurring around her. This was freedom. This was who she really was. 8 years ago, she had been someone else. Someone with a rank and a reputation. Captain Samantha Reeves. Call sign, Stardust, the best pilot in Earth's Defense Force. Until the mission that went wrong. The mission that forced her to disappear and become Lisa Carver, hiding her skills and her past. The journey to Proxima. Station would take her through the Kelvin asteroid belt, a dangerous passage that most pilots avoided. But Lisa wasn't most pilots. She navigated through the spinning rocks with ease, her hands dancing across the controls, making split-second adjustments. "Warning," the ship announced. "Unidentified vessel approaching on intercept course." Lisa's muscles tensed. "Show me." A small patrol ship appeared on her screen, bearing Earth Defense Force markings. Patrol ships didn't usually venture this far out. Something was wrong. "Attention, unidentified vessel." A voice crackled over the comm. "You are entering a restricted zone. Identify yourself or change course immediately." Lisa didn't respond. She couldn't. Her ship's registration was under a false name, and her voice might be recognized by someone from her past. Instead, she cut the main engines and drifted silently, using the asteroid belt for cover. The patrol ship passed by, scanning for her, but finding nothing. When it was gone, Lisa let out a long breath. Too close, The rest of the journey to Proxima Station was uneventful. The space station hung against the blackness like a sparkling jewel, rotating slowly. It was a trading hub, home to both legal and illegal commerce. Lisa docked at a private bay and met her contact, a nervous man named Reed. "You're late," he said. "Patrol ship." "Had to take a detour." Lisa held out her hand. "Payment first." Reed placed a credit chip in her palm. "Cargo needs to go to these coordinates. No questions asked?" Lisa nodded. She never asked questions. That was her rule. Back on her ship, she checked the sealed container. She never looked inside, but she did. Scanned for explosives or tracking devices. Finding none, she secured the cargo and set course for the coordinates. The location took her to Saturn's rings, a maze of ice and rock that could tear a ship apart. Again, her extraordinary piloting skills were required. Few people could navigate. The rings at the speed she was traveling. As she flew, a news broadcast played softly in the background. Reports of increased alien activity near the outer colonies have been confirmed by Earth Defense Force. The announcer said, "Citizens are advised to remain calm as diplomatic channels remain open." In other news, double quotes, Lisa turned it off. Aliens weren't her concern. Staying hidden was. After delivering the cargo to a small research facility hidden in Saturn's rings and collecting her final payment, she set course for Earth. As the blue planet came into view, Lisa felt the familiar mix of love and loss. This was her home, yet she could never truly belong here again. Not as her real self. The morning sun was just rising over Bayview as Lisa landed her ship and raised the garage floor back into place. In a few hours, she would be back at the coffee shop, smiling at customers, hiding in plain sight. For now, this double life was enough. It had to be. 3 weeks after her risky delivery to Saturn's rings, Lisa sat in the pilot's seat of the Starlight Runner again. This was supposed to be a simple job. Pick up medical supplies from an orbiting station and deliver them to a research outpost near Jupiter. Good pay, legal cargo, minimal risk. She checked her instruments one last time before departure. Everything looked normal. The night sky above her open garage was clear and full of stars. Perfect flying conditions. "Begin launch sequence," Lisa said. The ship hummed to life beneath her as the Starlight Runner cleared Earth's atmosphere. Lisa noticed something odd on her sensor display. A small flicker, then nothing. She frowned and ran a diagnostic check. "System interference detected," the ship's computer announced. "Source unknown." Lisa's instincts, honed from years of military training, immediately went on alert. Full scan of surrounding space. Scanning. No vessels detected within range. Strange. Lisa adjusted her course slightly and continued toward the supply station. The flickering on her sensors came and went, like a ghost in her systems. She'd never experienced anything like it before. After picking up the medical supplies at the station, Lisa set course for Jupiter. The journey would take her through a seldom-used corridor of space. Most ships took the established trade routes, but Lisa preferred the quiet, empty paths where she was less likely to be noticed. Halfway to Jupiter, the interference grew stronger. Her navigation systems began to glitch, and the ship's lights flickered. "Warning," the computer said. "Unknown energy signature detected at coordinates 227 to 884. Lisa checked the coordinates. Nothing should be there, just empty space. "Visual confirmation," she ordered. The main screen switched to external cameras. At first, Lisa saw nothing. Then, a shimmer in the darkness. A shape began to form as if appearing out of nowhere. A ship, but unlike any she had ever seen before. Its hull was smooth and curved, almost organic in appearance. It glowed with a faint blue light. And it was damaged badly. Part of its side was torn open, and it was drifting without control. Lisa's first instinct was to keep going, to get away from whatever this was. Unknown ships meant trouble, and trouble could expose her. But something else pulled at her. The pilot in her recognized a ship in distress. Computer, any life signs aboard that vessel? One life form detected. Life signs unstable. Lisa cursed under her breath. She had a choice to make. The smart move would be to continue her mission and pretend she never saw the alien ship. But if someone was dying over there, match speed and prepare for boarding, she finally said. The Starlight Runner moved alongside the damaged vessel. Up close, the alien technology was even more impressive. The ship seemed to be made of some kind of metal that flowed like liquid in places, repairing itself slowly. Lisa put on her spacesuit and checked her emergency kit. If I'm not back in 30 minutes, disengage and return to Earth on autopilot, she instructed the computer. The airlock cycled, and Lisa pushed off toward the alien ship. A circular opening appeared in its side as she approached, as if inviting her in. Inside, the ship was unlike anything Lisa had ever seen. The walls pulsed with light that followed her movements. The air was breathable, according to her suit sensors, so she removed her helmet. "Hello?" she called out. "Anyone here?" A sound came from deeper in the ship, a weak cry for help in a language Lisa didn't understand. She followed the sound to what appeared to be the ship's control room. There, slumped over a console that looked more like a living organ than a machine, was an alien. It was humanoid, but clearly not human. Its skin was pale blue, with patterns that glowed like the ship itself. It looked up as Lisa entered, eyes widening in surprise or fear. The alien spoke, its voice musical but strained with pain. Lisa shook her head, indicating she couldn't understand. The alien touched a device on its wrist, and suddenly its words became clear. "Human. Dangerous. Here. You must. Go." "You're hurt," Lisa said, approaching slowly. "I can help." The alien's body was wounded, leaking a luminescent fluid. Lisa opened her medical kit and began applying emergency patches to stop the bleeding. "Who are you?" she asked as she worked. "Vextar," the alien replied weakly. "Scout for. Coulter Collective. Running from." Ensvari. None of these names meant anything to Lisa, but the tone in which Vextar said Ensvari told her everything she needed to know. Whatever these Ensvari were, they were dangerous. "Your ship is badly damaged," Lisa said. "Can it be repaired?" Vextar shook its head. "Not. In time?" "In time for what?" The alien's eyes locked onto hers. "They follow. Always follow." Lisa made a decision that went against every rule of survival she had lived by for the past 8 years. "Come with me. I can get you somewhere safe." Helping Vextar to the Starlight Runner was difficult. The alien was larger than a human and barely conscious. Once aboard, Lisa placed Vextar in her small medical bay and set course back to Earth at full speed. As they traveled, Vextar watched Lisa pilot the ship. Despite being injured, the alien seemed fascinated by her movements at the controls. "You fly. Differently," Vextar said. "Not like other humans." Lisa tensed. "What do you mean?" "Your patterns. Your reactions, like Coulter pilots." Lisa didn't respond. She focused on flying, pushing her ship faster than was safe. When Earth came into view, Lisa faced a new problem. She couldn't exactly take an alien to a hospital, and her small garage workshop wasn't equipped for medical care. "We're going to my home," she told Vextar. "You'll have to stay hidden. No one can know you're there." The alien nodded weakly, grateful for rescue. As Lisa landed her ship, she realized her carefully constructed life was about to change. For 8 years, she had managed to stay hidden, to keep her past buried. But now, with an injured alien aboard her ship and the mysterious Ensvari, potentially on their trail. Hiding might no longer be an option. She could only hope she hadn't made a terrible mistake. 3 days passed since Lisa brought Vextar to her garage workshop. She had created a makeshift recovery area behind her ship, using old blankets and supplies she could buy without raising suspicion. The alien was getting stronger each day, but still needed time to heal. "I can't keep missing work," Lisa said as she changed Vextar's bandages. "People will ask questions." Vextar's skin had changed from pale blue to a deeper shade, which Lisa hoped meant healing. The alien's eyes followed her movements around the garage. "Your world is not ready for my kind," Vextar said. The translation device on their wrist worked better now. "But the Ensvari will not care about readiness. You keep mentioning these Ensvari. Who are they exactly?" Lisa asked. "Conquerors. They take worlds, drain them of resources, move on." Vextar sat up slowly. "My people tried to warn them away from this sector. I was sent to map safe routes for our diplomats." Lisa paused. "Are you saying Earth is in danger?" Vextar looked at her with large silver eyes. "All worlds in this sector are in danger. The Ungsvari do not negotiate." Before Lisa could respond, an alert sounded from her ship's computer. She rushed to the cockpit and checked the monitors. "What is it?" Vextar called from behind. Lisa's face went pale. "Ships entering the solar system. Lots of them, and they're not human designs." The screen showed multiple objects moving past Neptune, heading inward toward the inner planets. Their formation was precise, military, and they were moving fast. "They found me," Vextar said, voice filled with dread. "The Ensvari never stop." Hunting, Lisa's mind raced. She had spent 8 years hiding her identity, building a new life. Now, aliens were invading the solar system, possibly because she had rescued one of their enemies. She turned on the news feed. Nothing yet about alien ships. Earth didn't even know what was coming. "I need to warn someone," Lisa said. "But I can't just walk into a military base after 8 years. "Why not?" Vextar asked. "What happened 8 years ago?" Lisa stared at the alien for a long moment. Then she sat down heavily in the pilot's chair. "I was Captain Samantha Reeves, the best pilot in Earth's Defense Force. They called me Stardust because I could fly through anything." She looked down at her hands. 8 years ago, I led a classified mission. Something went wrong. There were civilian casualties. I was blamed. "You ran away?" Vextar asked without judgment. "I didn't run because I was guilty. I ran because I was going to be the scapegoat. My entire crew would have been punished for following my orders." Lisa's voice grew hard. "So I disappeared, became Lisa Carver, left everything behind." A new alert sounded. Lisa checked the screen and gasped. "They're hacking our systems. Global defense networks, satellites, everything." She watched in horror as military communications flashed across her screen. "How are they doing this so easily?" "Ensvari technology is advanced," Vextar said. "They learn systems quickly." Another alert pinged. This one made Lisa freeze. "They're accessing military personnel records." She watched the data stream by. "They're looking for piloting records?" Vextar moved closer. "They study their enemies, identify threats." Lisa watched as her own file appeared on screen. Captain Samantha Reeves. A full profile of her flight patterns, mission history, and abilities. Then a match. Notification flashed. "They recognized my flying style from when I rescued you," Lisa whispered. "They know who I am, and they know where I live." As if in response, the ground trembled slightly. Lisa rushed to the window. In the distance, over the small town of Bayview, a dark shape hovered in the sky. Not large, but definitely not from Earth. "A scout ship," Vextar said from behind her. They found us. Lisa's phone rang. It was Kelly. Lisa, are you seeing this? Kelly's voice was shaking. There's some kind of weird aircraft over downtown. The news is saying there are more all over the world. Before Lisa could answer, she heard screams through the phone. Then an explosion. Kelly! Lisa shouted. They're shooting at buildings. Lisa, people are... The call cut off. Lisa turned to Vextar. I have to help them. With what? One small ship against the Ansvari? It's all I've got. Lisa began the launch sequence for the Starlight Runner. And I'm not going to hide anymore. As the garage roof opened, Lisa saw more clearly what was happening. The alien scout ship was firing precise shots at the town center. Not destroying everything testing defenses. Lisa lifted off, pushing her ship to full speed immediately. She shot toward the alien vessel, weapons systems online. This is insane, she muttered to herself as she targeted the scout ship, the Ansvari. Craft was faster than anything she'd ever seen, but Lisa wasn't an ordinary pilot. She anticipated its movements, firing not where it was, but where it would be. Her shots connected, damaging one of its engines. The alien ship turned its attention to her, firing strange energy weapons that her shields barely deflected. Lisa rolled. And Dove, leading the ship away from the town dot in the distance, military helicopters approached. Earth was responding, but too slowly. Lisa executed a maneuver that should have been impossible, flipping her ship while maintaining forward momentum, then firing directly at the scout ship's weapons array. The hit was perfect. The alien ship faltered, then began to fall dot as Lisa circled back toward town. She saw the military helicopters had changed course. They were coming for her now. A voice crackled over her radio. Unidentified vessel, this is. Earth Defense Force. Land immediately, or we will open fire. Lisa recognized the voice. Commander Alan Grant, her former superior officer. This is Lisa Carver, she replied, then paused. Also known as Captain Samantha Reeves. And you've got bigger problems than me right now. The radio went silent for a moment. Then, Stardust, is that really you? It's me. And I've got information about the aliens attacking us. But first, I need to land and find my friend in town. As Lisa brought her ship down near the town center, she knew her life as Lisa Carver was over. Her hidden identity was exposed. The military would take her into custody. She might even face charges for what happened 8 years ago, but none of that mattered now. Earth was under attack, and she was possibly the only person with information that could help. Sometimes, hiding wasn't an option anymore. The aliens had given her no choice. Lisa stood in the middle of Bayview's town square, surrounded by military personnel. Smoke rose from damaged buildings nearby. People were being evacuated from the area, some injured, others just scared. She spotted Kelly helping an older woman into an emergency vehicle. Kelly, Lisa called out. Her roommate turned, eyes widening. Lisa, what are you doing here? And why are soldiers following you? Before Lisa could answer, Commander Grant approached. He looked older than Lisa remembered, with more gray in his hair and deeper lines on his face. Captain Reeves, he said, his tone a mix of anger and relief. 8 years of searching, and you show up right when aliens attack. Quite the coincidence. It's not a coincidence, Lisa replied. They found me because I rescued one of their enemies. An alien from the Coulter Collective. Grant's eyebrows shot up. You have an alien? In my garage workshop. And they know things about the Ansvari that might help us. A soldier ran up to Grant. Sir, more ships entering the atmosphere. Larger ones this time. Our weapons aren't having much effect. Grant looked at Lisa for a long moment, then made a decision. Captain Reeves, you're technically still a deserter facing serious charges. But right now, we need every advantage we can get. He pointed to a military transport. Your alien friend, too. We're going to Defense Command. The ride to the Underground Defense Command base was tense. Kelly sat next to Lisa, still in shock from learning her roommate's true identity. So all those nights you were working late? Kelly asked. I was running cargo in space, Lisa confirmed. I never lied about being a pilot, just about who I was piloting for. Vexstar sat across from them, drawing nervous glances from the soldiers. The aliens' condition had improved enough to travel, but they still moved carefully. At the base, they were rushed into a situation room. Large screens showed the Ansvari ships positioning themselves around Earth. Military leaders from around the world joined via video conference. This is unprecedented, said General Harris, the highest-ranking officer present. First contact with not one but 2 alien species in a single day. Not first contact, Vexstar said, drawing everyone's attention. Your government encountered my people before. All eyes turned to a man in a dark suit who had been quietly observing from the corner. Director Pearson of Special Projects. Is this true? General Harris demanded. Pearson's face remained neutral. Certain information is classified for the security of... They're here to kill us all, Lisa interrupted. I think secrecy isn't our biggest concern right now. Pearson glared at her. 8 years ago, Captain Reeves led a mission that encountered a damaged Coulter vessel, similar to how she found this one. He gestured to Vexstar. The mission objective was to secure alien technology. Things went wrong. You mean you didn't tell us the truth? Lisa said, anger rising in her voice. You said it was a rogue human vessel with stolen tech. You never mentioned aliens. The world wasn't ready, Pearson replied. And the civilians who died? The ones I was blamed for killing? Unfortunate casualties in a first contact situation that went wrong. Lisa lunged toward Pearson, but Grant held her back. The truth, she demanded. All of it. General Harris slammed his hand on the table. Enough. Director Pearson, you will give us every piece of information you have. And Captain Reeves, control yourself. We need solutions, not vendettas. For the next hour, they discussed what they knew about the Ansvari. Vexstar explained their tactics, their technology, and their weaknesses. Pearson reluctantly shared what they had learned from the previous Coulter encounter. They're establishing a perimeter, one analyst reported. Smaller craft are taking out our satellites and defense installations. A standard pattern, Vexstar confirmed. They will disable your ability to coordinate, then begin ground assault. General Harris looked grim. Our conventional forces can't match their technology. We need something they won't expect. All eyes turned to Lisa. What? She asked. You shot down one of their scout ships with your modified cargo runner, Grant said. That's more than any of our fighter squadrons have managed. Lisa shook her head. That was one small scout. They have warships up there now. We have something too, Pearson said quietly. He touched a control panel, bringing up images of a sleek spacecraft unlike any Earth vessel Lisa had seen before. Project Chimera, a prototype incorporating technology from the Coulter ship we encountered 8 years ago. Lisa stared at the images. You built this from what you found? We've been working on it since that day. It's faster, more maneuverable, and better armed than anything we've ever built. But there's a problem. Pearson looked directly at Lisa. No one can fly it effectively. The neural interface is too demanding for our test pilots. Neural interface? It responds to thought patterns more than physical controls. We based it on fragments of the Coulter ship systems. Vexstar stepped forward. Your patterns, they said to Lisa. The way you fly. You have the trait. What trait? Lisa asked. Some beings can process spatial information differently, see patterns others cannot. Among my people, only a few are born with this ability. We become pilots. Vexstar turned to Pearson. She may be able to use your ship as it was meant to be used. General Harris looked between them. Captain Reeves, we're asking you to pilot this experimental craft against an alien invasion. After 8 years as a fugitive, I understand if you refuse. Lisa thought about her quiet life in Bayview, the coffee shop, her small apartment, the anonymity she had cherished. All gone now. I'll do it on one condition, she said. Complete amnesty for what happened 8 years ago, and the truth goes public about what really happened. That's 2 conditions, Pearson noted dryly. Take it or leave it, Lisa replied. General Harris nodded. Granted. Now, who will be your crew? Lisa looked around the room and at Kelly, who had been quietly listening. I want Kelly as my communications officer. Me? Kelly said, surprised. I'm a bookstore manager, who was also a communications specialist in the Navy before you retired, Lisa said with a small smile. You think you're the only one with secrets? Kelly's mouth opened, then closed. Finally, she nodded. Fair point. I will join as well, Vextar said. My knowledge of N-is-very tactics may be useful. Lisa turned to Grant. And I want Jack Bennett as my co-pilot. Grant raised an eyebrow. Bennett still blames himself for losing you 8 years ago. He never believed you were responsible for what happened. Then let's go get him, Lisa said. We have a planet to save. Project Chimera sat in a massive underground hangar, gleaming under bright lights. The ship was beautiful sleek, with flowing lines that reminded Lisa of Vextar's vessel, but larger and clearly built for combat. Jack Bennett stood beside her, staring up at the ship. When they had found him at a flight school where he taught civilian pilots, he hadn't hesitated to join them. Now his eyes were wide with wonder. They built this from alien tech? He asked. And they want us to fly it? Not us, Lisa corrected. Me, your backup in case this neural interface thing doesn't work. Jack grinned. Just like old times. You in the pilot seat, me watching and learning. Technicians swarmed around them, making final preparations. Kelly was already inside, familiarizing herself with the communication systems. Vextar moved around the ship, occasionally touching parts of it with expressions that Lisa couldn't quite read. The Ansvari fleet is moving into attack formation, General Harris announced, entering the hangar. Our conventional forces are engaging, but they're outmatched. You need to launch within the hour. Lisa nodded and walked toward the ship's entry. Ramp. Inside, the cockpit was unlike anything she had ever seen. Where she expected controls, there was a single chair surrounded by curved panels that seemed to glow from within. No buttons, no steering column, no visible interface at all. How? Does this work? She asked a nearby technician. The headset connects to your neural pathways, the woman explained, pointing to a sleek device on the chair. You think the ship responds. At least that's the theory. None of our test pilots could manage more than basic movements. Lisa sat in the chair and placed the headset on. Immediately, she felt a strange sensation, like the ship was extending into her mind, becoming part of her. The glowing panels around her brightened. Connection successful, a calm voice announced. The ship was speaking directly into her thoughts. Lisa closed her eyes. In her mind, she could see the ship, feel its systems, its weapons, its engines. It was overwhelming at first, but then strangely familiar. It's working, the technician said, sounding surprised. She's achieving full neural sync. Jack took his position at a more conventional backup control station. Kelly confirmed that communications were online. Vextar sat at what had been modified to serve as a tactical station. Chimera, you are cleared for launch, Control announced over the radio. Good luck. Lisa didn't need to touch anything. She simply thought about the ship rising, and it did. The massive hangar doors above them opened, revealing the night sky. Here we go, Lisa said. The ship shot upward, faster than any Earth craft could move, Breaking through the atmosphere in seconds. In orbit, the situation was dire. Earth's satellite defense network was in ruins. Military spacecraft fought bravely against the Nzivari. Vessels, but they were being systematically destroyed. There, Vextar said, pointing to a formation of ships at the center of the Nzivari fleet. The command vessel. Destroy it, and the others will be disorganized. Lisa studied the enemy formation. Getting to the command ship would mean flying through the heart of their fleet, a suicide mission for any normal pilot and ship. I see a path, she said quietly. There is no path, Jack replied, looking at the tactical display. They've got overlapping fields of fire covering every approach. Trust me, I can see it. Lisa guided the ship forward, accelerating toward the Nzivari fleet. Enemy vessels immediately turned to intercept, firing energy weapons that lit up space around them. But Lisa wasn't flying like a human pilot. She moved the ship in ways that seemed impossible, anticipating the enemy fire before it happened, finding gaps in their defenses that existed for mere seconds. How are you doing this? Kelly asked, gripping her seat as the ship twisted and rolled. I can see the patterns, Lisa replied, her voice distant as she focused on the neural connection. Everything they do follows a pattern. On the tactical display, the command ship grew closer. The Nzivari responded by tightening their formation, creating what should have been an impenetrable wall of ships and weapons fire. Lisa saw something else, a rhythm in their movements, a brief opening that would appear for just a moment. Everyone hold on, she warned. The ship responded to her thoughts instantly, executing a series of maneuvers that no human hand could have controlled. They spun through a gap between enemy vessels, rolled under a barrage of energy beams, and suddenly found themselves behind the NXVA RI command ship. Weapons locked, Jack announced. Fire, Lisa commanded. Chimera's weapons, a combination of Earth technology, and Coulter principles fired at the exact spot Vextar had identified as the command ship's weakness. The massive vessel shuddered, then began to break apart. Just as Vextar had predicted, the remaining Nzivari ships fell into disarray. Some began to retreat, others continued fighting, but without coordination. Earth forces, seeing the opportunity, pressed their attack. The tide of battle had turned. Lisa guided Chimera back toward Earth, the neural connection allowing her to feel the ship's minor damage from the battle. We did it, Kelly said, laughing with relief. We actually did it. Jack clapped Lisa on the shoulder. I knew you were good, Stardust, but that was something else entirely. Vextar studied Lisa with those silver eyes. You have the gift more strongly than any being I have encountered. Among my people, you would be revered. As they re-entered Earth's atmosphere, Lisa saw fighter jets escorting them in honor guard. Below, in cities around the world, people were watching the sky, knowing something extraordinary had happened. Defense Command to Chimera. General Harris's voice came over the radio. The remaining Nzivari forces are in retreat. Earth owes you a debt that can never be repaid. Lisa smiled. Just keeping my end of the deal, General. Don't forget yours. 3 weeks later, Lisa stood on a platform before a crowd of people and cameras. She wore a new uniform with a rank insignia she had never expected to wear again. Captain, General. Harris pinned a medal to her chest. For extraordinary bravery and service to humanity, we honor Captain Samantha Reeves. The crowd cheered. In the front row, Kelly and Jack applauded loudly. Beside them, Vextar stood in special clothing designed to help them adapt to Earth's environment. The first official diplomatic representative of the Coulter Collective. The truth about what had happened 8 years ago had been made public. Lisa's name had been cleared. The families of those lost had finally learned what really happened. After the ceremony, Director Pearson approached her. We've established a new division. Human Coulter Joint Defense Initiative. We need someone to command it. Lisa raised an eyebrow. Someone who can fly those ships you're building? Someone with your unique abilities? Yes. The neural interfaces are being refined based on what we learned from your flight. He handed her a datapad. The details, if you're interested. Lisa looked at the information. A new ship, larger than Chimera. A crew of humans and Coulter working together. A chance to protect Earth from threats they never knew existed before. 8 years hiding who I really was, Lisa said quietly. Now everyone knows. Is that a yes, Captain? Pearson asked. Lisa thought about her small apartment in Bayview, the coffee shop, the quiet life she had built. She would miss parts of it, but hiding was no longer an option. The aliens had given her no choice, and maybe that wasn't such a bad thing after all. Yes, she said. I'm in.